All right, the rest of Act 4, which is just one scene, scene 3, but this is exciting because we get to see the other half of what's going on. We've been with Macbeth for a long time, and we know lots of people have fled to other countries to amass armies to take him by force. And now we get to see Malcolm and Macduff. We're on page 357.
Welcome to England, Lord Macduff. Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
No, let us rather, Prince Malcolm, hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfallen birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolour.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no, believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He has not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous, Malcolm.
But Macbeth is.
So Macduff's like, I'm not going to do bad things to get back at him just because he's a bad dude. And Malcolm's like, leave it to me.
A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance, even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave taking?
So this is the question on everybody's mind. Why did Macduff leave his wife and child alone where they were at the mercy of Macbeth, and he himself fled to save his own skin? So Malcolm says, why did you do that?
I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but my own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay you your bases sure, for goodness dare not check you. Wear you your wrongs, Macbeth, the title is assured. Fare you well, lord. I would not be the villain that you think for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended, Macduff. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here in gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands.
So Malcolm, who's been in England longer than Macduff, who just fled there, he says, don't you worry. You're not going to have to get your hands dirty. I've got a lot of friends here. And I think that our country, Scotland, is lost. And the only way that we can take it back is to step on the tyrant's head. Or in other words, get rid of Macbeth. He will never listen to reason.
But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor Scotland shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
Who should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, that, when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
So Malcolm says, as bad as Macbeth is, I think even I am worse. So Malcolm says, he's saying, I would be a terrible king. I would be worse than Macbeth. And so now he begins to test Macduff. First, he's going to tell him of all these feelings he has and all these bad parts of him, Malcolm is, to test Macduff to see what Macduff would say about it.
I grant him bloody, lascivious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there is no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust.
So he says, lust is a real huge problem with him. Luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin. That's pretty bad.
And my desire, all restraining impediments would overbear that did oppose my will. Better, Macbeth, than such a one as I to reign.
He said, anybody dare cross me off with their head.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It has been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet, Malcolm, to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
So Macduff says, no, that's just men. That's how men are. And don't worry about it. You won't need to take any woman by force, because there are a lot of women who'll just go, okay, yeah, let's go.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
So now he says, yeah, well, not only am I lustful, I'm greedy. I will take everybody's land. I'll take their houses. Whether they're a loyal person or not, I'm going to destroy them so I can have their wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust. And it has been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland has poisons to fill up your will of your own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none.
So again, Macduff says, well, don't worry about it. You know what? There's plenty to go around. You're not going to have to take anyone's, lands or houses.
The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell. Uproar of the universal peace, confound all unity on earth. Oh.
So he says, my last problem is I want all the power there is. Had I the power, if I were king, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell. Uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth. I just want to stir the pot because I can. And Macduff says,
Scotland, Scotland.
In other words, he's like, it's our country. And right now, what are we going to do? We have a terrible king, and you're telling me you can't be king.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern?
So this whole thing of Malcolm talking crap on himself is to get Macduff to see he should be king. That's who the rightful king is, because he's not lustful. He's not greedy. He doesn't want power. He's more in line with how Duncan was.
No, not to live. O nation miserable with an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptered, when shall you see your wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of your throne by his own interdiction stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed. Your royal father was a most sainted king.
He's not talking actual father. He's talking about Macduff as the father king figure.
The queen that bore you, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare you well, Malcolm. These evils you repeat upon yourself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, your hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, has from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to your good truth and honor.
So Malcolm says, you're the one who has the moral uprightness to lead Scotland.
Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, has sought to win me into his power. and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste.
So now Malcolm comes clean and says, well, I don't really believe all those things I just said about myself, but Macbeth has tried to lure me to his side by offering me all of that.
But God above, deal between thee and me. For even now, I put myself to your direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is yours, and my poor country's to command. Whither, indeed, before they hear approach, old Seward with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point, was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
Sir, give you good day. Well, more anon.
Okay, so here comes a dude to talk to him, Ross, the cousin. Remember when we saw Ross last? He was telling Lady Macduff to flee.
Comes England's king forth, I pray you.
Aye, sir. There are a crew of wretched souls that stay his cure. Their malady convinces the great assay of art, but at his touch, such sanctity has heaven given his hand, they presently amend.
I thank you, Doc.
Sir,
What's the disease he means?
It's called the evil, most miraculous work in this good king, which often, since my here remain in England, I have seen him do. How he solicits heaven, himself best knows. But strangely visited people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, he cures. Hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and, it's spoken, to the succeeding royalty he leaves the healing benediction.
So supposedly, if you were sick, if you touched the king's robes, you would be miraculously cured.
With this strange virtue, he has a heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace.
Here's
See who
Ross.
comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin Ross. Welcome hither.
I know him now. But God, but times remove the means that makes us strangers.
sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing, but who knows nothing, is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrows seem a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there, scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying, or ere they sicken.
So Ross is saying, Scotland has a huge problem right now because Macbeth is running amok and doing terrible things and taking his anger out on people he thinks might have, talked bad about him or is not loyal to him, those kind of people.
Relation too nice, and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age does hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well,
Lie! So Macduff asks about his wife, at least he remembered he had one. He left her in Scotland when he fled for his life. And Ross says, she's okay.
And all my children.
well, too.
Again, a huge lie. He's completely lying to Macduff's face.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they...
So he's such a liar. Why is he lying about this? He knows. He was there right when Macbeth's goons were coming to get Macduff's wife. And he was like, you got to leave now. You got to leave now. Leave with me because if I stay, they're going to kill me. And he goes, oh, no, they're fine when I left them.
were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goest?
When I came here to transport the tidings which I had heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out against Macbeth, which was, to my belief, witnessed, the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Prince Malcolm, your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England has lent us good Seward and 10,000 men. An older and a better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Okay, so we've slightly met Seward. I think he came in at the castle when King Duncan came in Act 1. He has fled Scotland and he has gotten 10,000 men to be a soldier. So originally he was from originally he was from England, but he had been in Scotland, but he fled back to England and got 10,000 men to fight against Scotland.
I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing would not catch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a particular grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
Okay, the main part pertains to you alone, this terrible woe. So now he's building up kind of to, he's just going to tell Macduff. I mean, he tells him in a minute, but why do you think he didn't want to tell Macduff when he first came? Think in your heads, because I really want you to answer this.
Ross, if it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
So again, he's like, don't hate me because I'm bringing you bad news.
Oh, I guess at it. Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were on the quarry of these murdered dear to add the death of you.
So they broke into your castle, they killed everyone, and they said they're going to come find you and kill you too, is basically what Ross says.
Merciful heaven. What then? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows, give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children too? Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
Let's make us medicines of our great revenge. In other words, we can cure the sickness of Scotland. We can cure your sickness of grief, but we have to strike Macduff.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hell kite! All? What? All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me.
So Macduff is a pretty good person. You know, he's like, I am going to take revenge, but let me sit with my feelings for a bit because, you know, it was my wife and kids.
Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for you.
So he just said, sinful Macduff. This is Macduff speaking. Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for you. Well, of course, because you're the one who left, you dummy.
Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with my eyes and braggart with my tongue.
So, he could play the woman with his eyes. So he could cry. He could braggart with my tongue. He could act like a guy and say, I'm going to take him and rip off his head and then rip off his arm and, play golf with his head or whatever.
But, gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring you this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to England's king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
And that is the end of the falling action. And of course, Act 5 will be the regular tying up all the loose ends.